Welcome. Beautiful. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Patrick Baumann House of Basketball. 48 clubs have started this fourth season of the Basketball Champions League last September with the first round of qualifications. All of them with the hope to lift this beautiful trophy the first weekend of May. The 16 best teams have qualified after a hard-fought regular season and a total of 224 games. And in order to fulfill their dreams, those 16 clubs now need to know how their road to the Final Four will look like. And this question will be answered by this morning's playoffs draw ceremony. Those 5 months of regular season were filled with passion and emotion, two of the Basketball Champions League's trademarks, and today will be no different. So let's get a taste of what happened during the regular season of the competition.
I love the Basketball Champions League, and I know that you love it.
The crowd know what it takes to get out of the regular season in the Basketball Champions League.
Come on, he's saying. And throw down this time. Here comes the pass and the throw down.
Thompson on the roll, wide open, and Thompson hammers it home.
Gotcha!
And hands there. Oh, they find Salia wide open. The flare, it's good.
Oh, what a block! Oh, what a block by Shorter.
Indeed, great images from what has been an action-filled first part of the season. And speaking of action, I believe it is time to introduce this morning's special guest. Two players that have seen action at the highest level of club and national team competitions and who will be with us on stage for today's proceedings. The first one is Lithuanian, born and raised in Klaipėda. He started his career for Neptūnas, rapidly drafted by Seattle. He also had a very successful career in Italy, Russia, Turkey, and Greece. And with the national team of Lithuania, he earned 2 bronze medals of the 1996 and 2000 Summer Olympics, and won the Eurobasket in 2003. In 2014, his number 11 jersey was retired by his first club, Neptūnas Klaipėda. Let's take a few moments to remember him on court. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Aurelijus Šukauskas. Welcome. How close was I with the name?
Zukowska.
It was very close with the name. Did I did it correct? Yes?
Yes.
Almost, okay.
Yes.
It's fair enough. Well, as a true basketball passionate, you have followed this fourth season of the Basketball Champions League, where your former club, Neptūnas, played throughout the regular season in a very competitive Group D, missing the qualification for the regular season by an inch. So what is your opinion on the competition and on Neptūnas' journey?
Hello, everybody. I think Neptūnas is play good and for regular season lose only from Beşiktaş for last minute, and I don't know, I think there is problem with coaches, changing coaches, and now I want to say good luck for Neptūnas for Lithuanian championships.
Right. And Aurelius, I mean, you've competed at the highest European level and lifted a couple of trophies throughout your career, both with your clubs and the national team. Even if it's not your home club, Neptūnas, another Lithuanian team, is having a strong season so far, like Kabelis, and qualified for the next phase of the competition. What message or advice would you give them ahead of the playoffs?
Yes, now Lietkabelis, I saw the last game in Lithuania 3 days ago. He got condition and he played better like the start the season. I want to say good luck and play good in top 16 and for win everything.
Let's see about that. So thank you, Aurelius. You may now take a position on my left-hand side behind this table. And tonight, you won't be the only one helping me with the proceedings. We have indeed invited another European famous player, also playing at the center position, representing Turkey. He won the silver medal at the Eurobasket in 2001. He also had a very successful club career, winning national titles in Turkey, Israel, France, and Poland, and also the Korac Cup in 1996. So let's remember him on the courts.
Gizanikis, shock again, he's having a great offensive game. Is back in, playing a real Twin Towers thing with Okur. What a lovely hook that was over Morganov.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Hüseyin Beşok. Merhaba Hüseyin.
Hi, merhaba.
My Turkish is very, very bad, so we stick with English. And of course, from me, I would like to know, because you had an impressive career, winning many titles in Europe, what would be your advice to young players competing in the Basketball Champions League? And what does it take for a player or for a team to go until the end and win such a competition?
First of all, thank you for FIBA Commission invite us here. And then for the young kids, you know, they have to work hard. But now the basketball little bit different when we play, because now quickness, athleticism most important. And for the kids, they have to work hard, and then mental, they have to stay tough.
I mean, you just mentioned that the level of the competition has been very high since it starts in October, and 3 Turkish teams have qualified for the playoffs. And I know you have played for 2 of them, namely Besiktas and Türk Telekom. But what is your opinion on their journey so far and on their chance to make it to the finals?
BCL organization, very important for our country. This year, from Turkey, 14 participating BCL organization. Just Gaziantep, they didn't succeed top 16. But now, I hope at least one team, they play Final Four. I hope maybe this Final Four in Turkey.
We'll see about that. Thank you, Hüseyin, and please take on the right-hand side from me someplace. Thank you, Aurelius and Hüseyin. Thank you for both for sharing your opinion and those nice memories. It is now time to start the playoffs draw. And to conduct the technical part of the draw, please welcome on stage Mr. Patrick Komninos, CEO of the Basketball Champions League, and Mr. Dejan Lekic, the competition manager.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patrice. Thank you, Aurelius. Thank you, Hüseyin, for your contribution. One of the rare cases when I am by far the shortest guy on stage. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome from my side as well. Congratulations to the 16 clubs that have qualified to the Basketball Champions League playoffs. They represent 11 different countries, a record in the history of the BCL, and an impressive statistic that highlights the inclusiveness of the competition. Their success comes at the conclusion of an extremely competitive regular season where almost 1/3 of all clubs were still fighting for a chance to qualify, some earning qualification at the very last second of their thrilling encounters. So, after 224 games have been played, we are ready to find out the next crucial fixtures. As we move, therefore, to the main part of today's program, the draws for the round of 16 and the quarterfinals. Let's now better understand how these draws will be conducted.
Here's how the draws for the round of 16 and quarterfinals work. With the end of the regular season, the top 4 teams from each group qualify for the playoffs. These 16 teams will face each other on a best-of-3 basis with the home court advantage for the seeded teams. Seeded teams will host the first and eventual third game in the series. Those 16 teams are split into 4 pots. The 4 top teams in Pot 1, the 4 second-best placed teams in Pot 2, the 4 third-best placed teams in Pot 3, and the 4 fourth-best placed teams in Pot 4. Group protection applies, which means the teams coming from the same group cannot be drawn against each other. First, the seeded teams from Pot 1 will be drawn against the unseeded teams from Pot 4. Next, the seeded teams from Pot 2 will be drawn against the unseeded teams from Pot 3. The draw can start if, for example, a team from Group B is drawn from Pot 1, as group protection applies. Only the teams from Group A, C, or D can be drawn from Pot 4. A team is drawn from Pot 4. This forms the first pairing of the round of 16 draw, and that pairing will be assigned as pair number 1 for the quarterfinals. The next pairing will be assigned as pair number 2 for the quarterfinals, and the process is repeated until all the teams are drawn and the first 4 pairs are set for the quarterfinals. The teams from Pot 2 will be drawn against teams from Pot 3 to complete the round of 16 draw. Group protection still applies. Pairings from teams in Pot 2 and Pot 3 will be assigned with numbers from 5 to 8, following the order of the draw. The round of 16 draw is concluded once all teams are drawn, forming 8 pairings numbered from 1 to 8. The 8 winners of the round of 16 progress to the quarterfinals. For the quarterfinals, we will draw pairings 1 to 4 in Pot 1 against the pairings 5 to 8 placed in Pot 2. No protection applies in this draw. The draw can start. A pairing is drawn from Pot 1, then a pairing is drawn from Pot 2. This process is repeated until all pairings are drawn. The quarterfinals will see the 8 winners of the round of 16 facing each other on a best-of-3 basis, with the home court advantage for the seeded teams coming from Pot 1. This concludes the quarterfinals draw.
Well, we have now seen the technical part of the draw, and we're almost ready to begin. The first draw for the round of 16 will see the 4 group winners face the teams that finished in 4th place in their groups. Let's first discover these 4 group winners.
Gets the pass, great fight.
Just great team basketball from Zaragoza.
Easy 2.
Lower check. Oh, and the big finish.
Big time throwdown.
The little up fake on, drives in and throws it down.
Lance Albertson under the basket. Thomas, oh baby, what a throwdown!
Great pass. What a no-look bounce pass.
Under the basket, Mustafa Fall.
So, the 4 seeded teams, Era Nimburg from the Czech Republic, Hapoel Jerusalem from Israel, Turk Telekom from Turkey, and Zaragoza from Spain. These group winners, they will be drawn first by Hussein here next to me, and will play at home the first leg of the best-of-3 series on the 3rd or 4th of March, and a potential 3rd leg on the 17th or 18th of March. On the other table, with Dejan and Aurelius, we have 4 pots, each representing one of the teams that finished 4th in their respective groups. Let's remember who these teams are.
Options, they got a shooter in the corner, they get it to him, tries another one, the 3 is up, 3 is good!
And he goes up and throws it down with 2 hands.
Sačić for 3, got it! Huge 3!
An easy slam for Dimsha.
There's a bit of contact, gets rejected! Kingsley Moses blocks him off the backboard. Are you serious? This guy, veteran, is putting on a show.
Can they get the three? Just shot. Oh my goodness!
Another three is made.
And the four unseeded teams on the other table is Bandirma from Turkey, Besiktas also from Turkey, Lietkabelis from Lithuania, and Peristeri from Greece. These teams, they will be drawn second and play the second leg of the best of three series at home on the 10th or the 11th of March. As already mentioned, at this stage of the draw, there is only one restriction applicable. No clubs that have played against each other in the same group can be drawn against each other here. The computer will therefore provide all the available options to the clubs, and they will be placed in the pot in front of Aurelius for him to select. Hopefully this is all clear now, and it will become certainly more clear as we start. Hussein, let's do the honors, shuffle well, and let's select the first team. So, the first team drawn in today's draw is Hapoel Jerusalem. First of all, congratulations to the club. They just won the Israeli Cup. They are the highest scoring team in the BCL with 1,254 points so far. They have three options, obviously, at this stage: Besiktas, Lietkabelis, or Peristeri. Aurelius, let's shuffle very well. Then we need to shuffle a little bit more. So, sorry, their opponents, Peristeri from Greece. Actually, Peristeri makes its appearance into the stage of this stage of the competition in their first appearance. They are the fifth Greek team to reach that stage. So we have our first pair. Please remember those numbers, 1 through 4. They will follow into the second draw. Hapoel Jerusalem Peristeri is the first pair. Let's shuffle well. Second team drawn is Zaragoza. Zaragoza, they are also making this round of the competition, the top 16, in their first appearance, and the first ever team in the history of the Basketball Champions League to collect 600 rebounds in the regular season. Their opponents can only be Bandirma or Lietkabelis. Let's shuffle well. Aurelius, good. Your countryman. So, Lietkabelis is the opponent of Zaragoza. Lietkabelis, first time they qualify in the top 16. Actually, a very interesting statistic for Lietkabelis. They won 4 games after trailing at halftime, the most than any other team in the regular season. We're halfway there. Let's continue. And we can show it. It's Nymburk from the Czech Republic. Also, congratulations. They have just won the Czech Cup. Nymburk, of course, making their second appearance in the playoffs and hold the record for the most away victories in the regular season, 6 away victories. Possible opponents, certainly from Turkey. It will either be Bandirma or Besiktas. So let's see. So Nymburk to face Bandirma. Bandirma, one of only 4 clubs that in 4 participations in the Basketball Champions League have made this stage of the competition all 4 times. And of course, let's not forget, first finalist in 2017. I think the situation is quite straightforward now. We are selecting a local derby.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it can only be Turk Telekom reaching this stage of the competition in their first appearance. 4th different club from Turkey to reach the top 16. They can only have one opponent. Aurelius, let's do the formality. and it is Beşiktaş. Beşiktaş also 4 times playing in the BCL, 4 times reaching the last 16, and a great comeback during the regular season. They won 4 out of the last 5 games. So we can recap. Pair number 1, Hapoel Jerusalem Peristeri. Pair number 2, Saragossa Lietkabelis. Pair number 3, Nymburk Bandirma. And pair number 4, the Turkish derby, Turk Telekom Beşiktaş. If I recall correctly, Beşiktaş in the first season of the Basketball Champions League also had a Turkish derby against Pinar at this stage of the competition. So let's see how this one turns out. We can now move to the second part of the round of 16 draw that will see the teams that finished in second position in their groups face the team that finished in third place. Let us first remember the 4 runners-up.
Bruce attacks inside Machulis for the slam.
Langford for a triple as Langford makes the pay.
Champion says, not in my house.
Great ball movement into Spissu's hands.
We're underway here in Tenerife. Oh, they go upstairs early. I want to stop. Shemadini, bang.
Back to Lum Lum. Oh my lord!
Oh, Holston just blew to the ring, gets the drop.
So the seeded teams at this stage of the draw: AEK from Greece, Dinamo Sassari from Italy, GDA Dijon from France, and Iberostar Tenerife from Spain. These teams, here with Hussein, they will be drawn first and again will play the first and potential third leg of the best of 3 series at home. On the other table, we have the 4 pots, each representing a third place finisher. Let us have a look at these 4 teams.
Inside, Sailor with a massive throwdown.
Thompson on the roll, wide open, and Thompson hammers it home.
Dribbling up high, bounce pass, and in goes the Stavkovic. Some hops.
He hands it off to Brown, gives it back to Willis. Oh, and he goes up and dunks it with the left hand.
Now Fraser, too much time and space for him.
The transition, what do we have? Martin Brunig. Take out Martin Brunig, gets down one.
Rejected by Clark though.
Are you kidding me?
So, unseeded teams: Bonn from Germany, Burgos from Spain, FIBA Ostende from Belgium, and Nizhny Novgorod from Russia. These clubs, they will be drawn second, once again following the computer indication to apply the necessary restrictions. We can now begin the draw. Let's shuffle well. Hussein. So, the first team drawn is Iberostar Tenerife. First of all, congratulations to Iberostar Tenerife. They just won the FIBA Intercontinental Cup by beating Virtus Bologna in the final. One of only 4 teams that has reached this stage of the competition on all their participations, and of course, the winner of the inaugural season. 3 options for them: Bonn, Burgos, or Ostende. Aurelius, let's shuffle well and see who the first pair of this draw will be. FIBA Ostende from Belgium, their first appearance in the top 16 after 4 participations so far. So we have our first pair at this stage. It is pair number 5, and this number will of course follow Tenerife and FIBA Ostende. Let's continue, Hussein. it is Dinamo Sassari from Italy. 11 victories for Dinamo Sassari in the regular season, the most that an Italian team has achieved so far in the Basketball Champions League. 3 choices for them as well: Bonn, Burgos or Nizhny Novgorod. Let's shuffle and select the opponent for Dinamo Sassari. And it will be San Pablo Burgos from Spain, making the top 16 in their first appearance in the competition. They hold the first 2 records of highest attendance in the regular season, with 2 sellouts against opponents with 9,500 spectators. Let's continue. We now have Dinamo Sassari versus Burgos. GDA Dijon, also congratulations to Dijon. They just won the French Leaders' Cup, being Asvel Villeurbanne in the final. 6 different French clubs that comes to us, and they're known as the thieves of the competition. 154 steals, more than any other club. Only one choice available for them. It will be Nizhny Novgorod. No need to shuffle too much now. And it is Nizhny Novgorod. 2 out of 2 for them in the top 16 following last year's participation, and an impressive home record. They won their last 5 home games. You know the drill already, Hussein. Yeah. It should be straightforward. It should be in yellow and black, and it is AEK from Athens, another team that has been able to reach this stage of the competition in all 4 participations. Trophy winners in 2018, and recent cup winners by beating Prometheus in the Greek Cup final a few days ago. There can only be one opponent for them. Telecom Baskets Bonn, as expected. First appearance in the top 16 after 3 participations into the competition, and they are the 5th German team that reaches this stage of the competition. So we now have our second part of the round of 16. Pair number 5, Tenerife Filou Ostende. Pair number 6, Dinamo Sassari Burgos. Pair number 7, GDA Dijon Nizhny Novgorod. And pair number 8, AEK versus Bonn. This process now takes us one step closer to the quarterfinals and eventually to the Final Four. This also gives us the opportunity to remember what happened in last season's Final Four in the city of Antwerp and the very, very impressive Sportpaleis Arena. So, some great images concluding with the lifting of this beautiful trophy. This, of course, provides an ideal introduction to the next draw that will determine the path to this year's Final Four. The quarterfinals draw will pair the winners of pairs 1 through 4 in this pot here with Hussein, and they will play the first game of the series at home versus the winners of pair 5 versus 8 in the pot in front of Aurelius. These teams, they will play the second game of the series at home. I think it is all straightforward now. We are selecting numbers, and you can see what they represent. Let's shuffle well. So, winner of game 2, this would be the winner of Saragossa versus Lietkabelis. Let's shuffle very well. Aurelius, we shuffle, and we select the opponent of the winner for Saragossa Lietkabelis. Winner of game 5, Tenerife Filou Ostende. They will be playing Saragossa or Lietkabelis. So we already know that one of Saragossa, Lietkabelis, Tenerife or Filou Ostende, they will be making it to the Final Four. Let's continue, Hussein. It is the winner of game 3. This would be Eranimburg or Bandirma. And let's see, Aurelius, who could be their opponent. Winner of game 8. This would be the winner of Aik or Bonn. So we can already see that either Nimburg, Bandirma, Aik or Bonn, they will participate in the Final Four. We're halfway there. Let's continue. It is the winner of game 4. That would be the Turkish derby, Turk Telekom or Besiktas, to play it would be the winner of game 7, GDA Dijon or Nizhny Novgorod. So we know that one of Turk Telekom, Besiktas, Dijon or Nizhny, they will participate in the Final Four. I think now the ordeal is quite straightforward. It is the winner of game 1. This would be Hapoel Jerusalem versus Windmasters Peristeri. And just to prove that everything has been according to the regulations, it is number 6. That would be Dinamo Sassari or Burgos. And again, one of Hapoel Jerusalem, Peristeri, Sassari or Burgos will participate in this year's Final Four, first weekend of May. Ladies and gentlemen, you all know your opponents for the round of 16 and for the quarterfinals, and at the end, what it will take to make it to this year's Final Four. This also concludes the technical part of the draw. I thank everyone and wish all the clubs good luck. Opportunity for me to now welcome back Patrice for closing this draw, and to, of course, thank Aurelius and Hussein for your contribution. Patrice?
Well, all I have to add to it is, dear guests, thank you all for attending the ceremony. We are now very much looking forward to the start of the playoffs on the 3rd of March. And until then, have safe travels back home. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of the day. Merci beaucoup. Dankeschön.